It's Sunday, May 31st, and here are today's top stories from across the UAE. Motorists will be paying more at the pump starting tomorrow as fuel prices are set to increase for the month of June under the UAE's monthly fuel pricing system, which follows global oil market trends. Meanwhile, the UAE Ministry of Health and Prevention is advising against travel to Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan unless absolutely necessary. The warning comes as health officials continue monitoring the latest Ebola virus developments in the region. Now, Dubai police have arrested 4 suspects after uncovering a 12 million dirham oud theft scam involving a fake princess and staged luxury dinner in Dubai. Authorities say the gang swapped valuable oud with ordinary wood before the multi-million dirham deal was finalized. The scheme was taking place at a villa in Dubai. And finally, in a separate incident, an Arab traveler was reunited with her bag, which contained $20,000 and 150 grams of gold. Documents in the bag.
Celebrations devolving into fire on the streets of Paris, bicycles burning, fans climbing on traffic lights as well, and bus stops, prompting a response from firefighters. All this after Paris Saint-Germain's latest triumph in the Champions League final on Saturday. PSG, kings of Europe after defeating English champions Arsenal in the Hungarian capital Budapest. The French giants now the first team since Real Madrid in 2018 to successfully defend their crown. But it wasn't easy, PSG fell behind early on before levelling in the second half. They finally won club football's biggest prize after a dramatic penalty shootout. Celebrations ensued on the field of play and back home in the French capital, and you now have to wonder if the country's national team can give their fans the same joy in this summer's World Cup.
I hope you guys can hear me because it is incredibly loud here. I am at a Mexican tailgate party out the front of the Rose Bowl Stadium here in Pasadena, California, ahead of the friendly clash between the Socceroos and Team Mexico, which is really a curtain raiser to the Socceroos' campaign at the FIFA Men's World Cup. Mexico!
We're winning the World Cup. That's how confident I am.
The people have just parked their cars up, and out the back of the car they're having an absolute party. They're playing music, they're dancing, they're waving flags, they're even trying to get me, one of the only Socceroo supporters here, on board.
Australia, yeah, they're a competitive team, but at the end, we got all the talent. Just give it up. Come on, Australians.
There is a huge Mexican community here in California. They are so excited to see their team play. As for those of us in the...
Tonight, the world's most important oil choke point remains choked. Ships sitting idle, cargoes going nowhere. A waterway carrying a fifth of the world's oil still caught between President Trump and Tehran. In Singapore today, the US Defense Secretary suggested attacks on Iran could resume if diplomacy fails.
Iran knows very, very clearly what our expectations are. They're coming in our direction. The talks have been productive. I think they know where it needs to go. And I'm quite confident with our president who makes nothing but great deals.
As he left the door open to further action, Donald Trump was heading for the golf course. His next move on Iran is far from certain. Last night, he said he'd make a final determination on Iran, but that decision still remains unclear.
We now know more about President Donald Trump's recent physical. Shortly after the exam on Tuesday, he simply said that everything checked out perfectly. The White House has now released a memo that showed that he is in, quote, excellent health, but that the doctor recommended that he lose weight and exercise more. Now, the president, who is 6'3" and weighs 238 pounds, this physical revealed that he gained 14 pounds since an April 2025 exam. The White House physician reported include strong cardiac, pulmonary, neurological, and overall physical function, as well as excellent cognitive and physical performance. He says Trump is, quote, fully fit to carry out all duties of the commander-in-chief. The exam included guidance on diet, recommendation to take a low-dose aspirin, increased physical activity, and continued weight loss. Last summer, the White House revealed that noticeable swelling in the president's legs and ankles was the result of chronic venous insufficiency.
Bro, what is going on in France? This is them happy. Hundreds of people have been arrested overnight after PSG fans took to the streets to celebrate them winning the Champions League for the second year in a row. And just like last year, the celebrations turned to violence. It turned to clashes with police, them setting fires to cars and e-bikes, smashing storefronts, and even the freaking Battle of Hogwarts. Over 22,000 police had to be deployed across France in preparation just in case they won. And many shops even boarded up their windows before the match because they knew what could happen. One of the country's right-wing leaders said, "Only in France does everyone feel compelled to lock themselves in their homes on the evening of a victory to avoid being confronted with violence." So France, I say this for your own sake. Please don't win the World Cup.
Next tonight, we're learning new details about several Americans injured, including U.S. troops, in an Iranian missile strike targeting a U.S. base in Kuwait. It comes as President Trump weighs a deal with Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, reporting from Jerusalem.
Tonight, the toll of the war with Iran on U.S. troops rising. A source telling ABC News several troops and civilian contractors were injured in an Iranian missile strike towards a U.S. base in Kuwait Wednesday. That missile intercepted those Americans suffering minor injuries from falling debris. And tonight, CENTCOM saying it disabled another ship trying to breach the U.S. blockade on its way to Iran. Officials saying U.S. forces issued multiple warnings before an aircraft fired a Hellfire missile into its engine room. Meanwhile, there's still no breakthrough deal with Iran. President Trump demanding Iran reopen the Strait of Hormuz, guarantee it won't